Now on Coast TV News.
A sea of classic cars along the coast, what you might have actually missed.
Ideas for affordable and workforce housing in Sussex County, what was brought up today.
A lasting Lewis, the city planning a multi-million-dollar fund to defend against coastal storms and climate disaster.
Speaking of the climate, we are expecting at least one more day of drying out sunshine across the beaches. More on that coming up.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
All right, start your engines for another year of Cruisin Ocean City. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overtur.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 5. We begin tonight with 35 years of classic cars driving into town.
I saw some of them myself yesterday, and just like last year, the event will have 2 different locations to choose from, but one of the Cruisin locations has changed. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe is live there. Kevin, the convention center no longer a part of that big event.
Maddie, if you want to see some classic cars, don't go to the convention center this year. Instead, to see these hot rods, you could come here at the Ocean City Inlet or on 49th Street. Sit back, relax, and enjoy watching classic cars drive along the coast. Something Eric Myers has been doing for years.
It's very exciting. You never know what you're going to see. If you like cars, this is the place to be.
From music to stores selling tools and merchandise, and thousands of cars in attendance, the 35th Annual Cruisin Ocean City is in full gear, with Mustangs, trucks, Corvettes, and whatever this is. But if you were expecting to turn into the convention center, you're going to have to take a U-turn. Diane Ciotti loves bringing her 71 Nova to car shows in the area, and while she's loving the event so far, she was sad the convention center wasn't a part of it.
The convention center, I really had a problem with that.
Because the event is a week earlier than usual, it is now in conflict with the Beach Fest volleyball tournament at the convention center, which is why the second location is now at 49th Street. Rob Coffin and his 69 Opel GT has been going to the event for years, and he sells anything from Hot Wheels to car parts and even signs. Although there has been a location change, Coffin still loves seeing everyone having a great time.
The classic cars, the hot rods, things like this little Opel. You see all kinds of cars and all kinds of people.
According to the Ocean City Tourism and Business Development Director, he expects the event to bring in 3,000 to 5,000 classic cars and around $20 million in revenue for the town. Now today is already over, but Cruisin Ocean City is long from it, with Sunday being their last day. So you'll still have a chance to check out all these cool cars before they head back in the garage. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Thank you, Kevin. And there's extra security in place for this year's Cruisin. From now until Sunday, all speed limits in OC are 30 miles an hour or lower. Plus, during the next couple of days, you will also see more police. There's also enhanced paid parking rates and penalties during Ocean City special events.
And since we're on the topic, let's go to our Coast TV poll today. We want to know, what is your favorite type of car to see?
Let's take a look at the results so far. 82% say the classics, 7% say custom builds, 4% say trucks, and 7% say hot rods, not Hot Wheels, which is Paul's favorite.
Slightly, yeah, Paul goes Hot Wheels.
Yes, Hot Wheels.
Anyway, we know what Paul's voting. If you want to go vote yourself, you can go to coasttv.com or use the Coast TV mobile app.
In order to protect its environment, the city of Lewis is proposing what's called a resiliency fund to be used to both prevent and react to natural disasters. Live in Lewis is Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken. Emma, the city says flooding is a big concern.
Maddie, as you can see, this sign shows it floods down here near the water. The city says with rising sea levels, a resiliency fund is a tool to reduce and counter those climate threats. On your screen now is a video of some previous Lewis flooding. Being a coastal area makes Lewis a little bit more susceptible to Mother Nature's whims. That's why Lewis wants to take money from existing sources like property taxes and parking revenue and specifically set them aside for fixing infrastructure and responding to storm damage. Lewis says they want to build a fund of $3 to $5 million in the next 5 to 7 years. Some locals say this is important for the future of the area.
If we want to still have a wonderful area, a wonderful earth, period, we need to do something about it. Take better care.
If you have any thoughts on the draft of the Resiliency Fund, you can submit your comments on the city's website until 4 p.m. tomorrow. Live in Lewis, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
Switching gears to politics now, President Trump says he's nominating Mike Waltz to serve as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. That move shifts Waltz out of his role as national security advisor. Waltz had been on shaky ground since he inadvertently added a reporter to a group chat about military strikes.
The Treasury Department says the U.S. and Ukraine have signed an agreement on a natural resources deal. This agreement will give Washington, D.C. access to untapped mineral riches in Ukraine. President Trump said this can be considered payment for investment into Ukraine by the U.S. Ukrainian President Zelensky had planned to sign the deal in February, but you might remember things fell apart after he and Trump had a contentious meeting.
To tariffs now, President Trump shifting his auto policy into a different gear, telling supporters in Michigan that the change will give U.S. car companies a little bit of a break. Brian Abel shows us what that break is and what it all means for you, especially if you're looking to get a car soon.
I've just signed an executive order to give partial tariff rebates to any company that assembles its cars right here in the U.S.
President Donald Trump this week easing off the auto tariff accelerator. In March, Trump announced a 25% tariff on imported cars and parts. That's set to go into effect this weekend. But now, U.S. manufacturers could be reimbursed on imported parts up to 3.75% of the value of a domestically produced car. After a year, that drops to 2.5%.
It's barely any relief at all, and it only lasts for 2 years, and it only applies to automakers that assemble cars in the United States. For those that do not assemble vehicles in the U.S., this is going to be a disaster.
Autoline's John McElroy says auto companies are bulking up their inventories to stave off immediate tariff impact, but those will be depleted come July.
And that's when I predict you're going to see new car sales in the U.S. nosedive.
The CEOs of Ford and GM bracing for the changes.
You know, the stuff we built now is priced. If we announce a price increase now, it'll go into play in July and August.
What we provided in our guidance is that pricing is going to stay about at the same levels that it is.
But experts like McElroy estimate cost for a car could jump by thousands, depending upon the model.
That will cause car sales to go down, and in some cases, it's going to lead to layoffs. If I had to buy another car right now, whether it's new or used, I would rush out and try to buy it.
In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
Tidal Health signs an agreement to add another Eastern Shore hospital to its network. Willie.
And temps will be elevating into the 80s as we continue to pine for more rain in our neck of the woods. We'll talk about that weekend rain possibility coming up.
We're going to show you the positive effect the simple act of boxing up shoes in Ocean Pines is having. That's up next. It started out as a group of friends just walking around a neighborhood together, but it turned into a movement. And now it's worldwide, making a difference one shoe at a time. In today's Coastal Connections, reporter Kevin Zappe shows us what this group is doing and how you can help.
If you check your closets, you might find some forgotten shoes taking up space, but now those shoes can be used for good. You can hand them over to the Teal Bay Mitzvah team in Ocean Pines.
I think so far we've shipped out about 150 pairs in total.
Since March, Margaret Novak and her friends have been working with the Souls for Souls nonprofit organization to get shoe donations, which will provide footwear to people in need across the U.S. and around the world.
Third world countries where small micro entrepreneurs receive them and set up businesses to sell them. And these people now have a sustainable income. They go to crisis areas, many in the United States.
So where can you donate your shoes to make a difference? There are locations all spread out around Ocean Pines where you could drop off your shoes. From there, the Mitzvah team will put them in boxes, tape them up, load them in a car, and drop them off at Michael's, where they will then be sent over to Souls for Souls for good use. Novak loves all the support from Ocean Pines and hopes to see more in the future.
They can all play a role. They can all help by dropping off their shoes. And we're getting ready for the summer. It's wonderful here. It's but we can live here and still make a difference in the world.
On May 17th, they will be at the Ocean Pines season kickoff event where they'll be gathering more donations and reminding people that small things like a pair of shoes can make a world of difference. I'm Kevin Zapay in Ocean Pines, Coast TV News.
The impending rain over the weekend typically would be a downer, but this time it's actually a good thing because we need that rain in place to stop this hazardous situation as it pertains to dry weather and fire safety in our area. Dry Tech camera, Ocean City, 60 degrees right now. We'll stay in the lower 60s with mostly cloudy skies. Currently, we have 59 in Rehoboth, but 65 in Milton, 81 degrees right now in Seaford. Winds, a bit of a problem with this drying out situation we have going on. Now the winds are coming out of the southeast, gusting up to about 16 miles per hour, for example, in Seaford. So we do have a small craft advisory in effect. Dewey Beach, Bottom Hills, Ocean View, South Bethany, 25 mile per hour winds, but it does not reach down to Ocean City. Now, keep in mind that generally speaking, we're seeing a stationary boundary in our neck of the woods, and there are isolated cells just trying to dance across the Chesapeake Bay area. We may get a little quick spot shower overnight and throughout the evening hours, but nothing that's going to give us all that drenching feeling, okay? Friday is a summer-like feel kind of a day and very warm into the 80s. The weekend is when the showers show up. Not a total washout over the weekend, particularly Saturday and Sunday, and we'll have a better chance of rain really developing going into Monday and Tuesday of next week. You see, here's how it's going to play out. Temperatures in the upper 60s initially, but by the afternoon, look at this, 85 and 86 degrees in Millsboro, 86 in Long Neck. That's just how warm it's going to be. And then for Saturday, we're going to warm into the 80s once again, 85, 86, 84 throughout the inland areas. So we have two summer-like days on tap. Rain is going to come in off of the ocean with instability and unsettledness. And so that's going to be Sunday's rain, Monday rain, Tuesday rain, maybe even going into Wednesday early morning rain. Here's a look at your extended forecast. We're going to have that rain kick in on Sunday for sure, Monday, Tuesday as well.
Thank you, Paul. Tidal Health is adding another hospital to their roster today. Leaders signed an official agreement to merge with Atlantic General Hospital in Berlin. Officials say that the partnership will expand services at Atlantic General through increased funding and updated equipment. Tidal Health's CEO says all patients will be transferred over electronically.
We do believe we're better together. Hospitals coming together to form healthcare systems, and this is good for Tidal Health as well. It allows us to coordinate care across a region a little bit differently, more efficiently, more effectively.
AGH will be renamed to Tidal Health Atlantic once the transition is complete. Officials say they expect that to take around 10 months.
Here's what's coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network. Right now, softball. Stephen Decatur travels to Mardella, then catch Into the Trenches following Cape Henlopen, and then the final score. Also on the DSN Plus app, we have baseball and softball right now. It's Laurel versus Sussex Tech, Indian River at Sussex Central, finally Lake Forest at Smyrna.
And coming up, Avelo Airlines expanding once again in Wilmington, the new nonstop destination that took flight today. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5. A lot of our viewers use the Wilmington Airport, so you might want to hear this. Avelo Airlines has added nonstop service from Wilmington to Nashville International Airport. There will be flights on this route weekly on Thursdays and Sundays, with fares starting at $39.
In related news, the Department of Transportation is rolling out financial incentives to hire air traffic controllers. It's the latest move to deal with an ongoing shortage of these critical workers. Among the new incentives, new graduates of Air Traffic Controller Academy get a $5,000 bonus. Bonuses will be given to controllers who go to locations that are harder to staff.
Get your fascinators ready because the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby, also known as the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, is just days away. The all-day celebration happening live this Saturday beginning at 2:30 p.m. right here on Coast TV.
Here's a live look into Ocean City. One more check on the forecast after the break. Each Friday, we can help you cheer up with our local Feel Good Friday newsletter. If you've never read it, you're missing out. There is lots of features, things to do each weekend, and more. Usually some pet pictures too, which Paul really likes, so you should sign up for it right now.
Right. I love pets. I love them at everybody else's house but mine, okay? All right, here, Bay Health Camera in Dover. That's our inside joke throughout the whole newsroom. 62 degrees right now. For our umbrella giveaway winner, Nate Schultz of Millsboro. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Be sure you keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by the Mandalas, Brockstead, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We're waiting for that rain on Sunday through Tuesday.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.